Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a great one for you today. We're going to talk about crypto Visa Mastercard networks, and you're going to like every bit of it. Coinbase and Apple Pay, guess what? You're going to like that too. XRP gets a new listing on an exchange, and nobody's upset about that. We're going to hear from John Deaton and important remarks from him. And work starts back on the crypto infrastructure bill. We'll get into it. What's left to be done? We'll talk about it. U.S. Treasurer Janet Yellen accused of banking corruption, say it isn't so. Debt ceiling talk for the United States government. IMF World Bank pushing the benefits of central bank digital currencies along with the BIS. Yeah, don't believe it. It's still true. USD Tether, I think it's in trouble. Did it just get put on notice? Because Circle just made a massive announcement. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we may have found our US digital dollar in the private sector. Let's roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackUpBradleyAbove, and everything that we're talking about here today. 1.832 trillion is where we are for the cryptocurrency market. Obviously, we are missing some money this morning. 2.5 trillion plus is where we've been for the all-time high for the crypto space. And right now, we see a lot of money returning back to this space, and the numbers are showing exactly where it's going. Bitcoin at 45,000 plus, Ethereum at 3,100 plus, Cardano at $1.46, and XRP this morning at 81 cents right now. It's up 8.47 on the 7-day. Let's look at the range of the price really quickly here. We see that we are ranging at 76 cents on the low end, 82 cents on the high end of the XRP price range. We'll keep an eye on it. Above 82 cents, clearing away, has us staring down the barrel of a $1 XRP. I would count the range of price in that as well. But nevertheless, it is exciting to see that XRP and other tokens out here are holding their price this morning, regardless of the delay that we have on the crypto amendment for the U.S. infrastructure bill. We'll cover that in just a second. Hall of Famer Michael here says crypto payment firm Alchemy Pay is planning to roll out a crypto-linked virtual card that is accepted on the Visa Mastercard payment networks. You know, these are the things I want to see fundamentally. When I can't see the price go exactly where I want it to go, I want to see the fundamental news continue to stack up that shows me I've made the right choice to be in this space. And this is more evidence of that for me, not financial advice. But again, some more fundamental news here from DJ Peter Vass. Apple Pay now supports cryptocurrency transactions on Coinbase. This is regardless of the melees in Capitol Hill with the legislation. This is showing me whatever's going to happen, they're going to get it figured out. Yes, I am the eternal optimist, and the reason I can be, especially about this news, is because I continually see the companies connecting everything they're doing in their business model to cryptocurrency. Some are putting it on their balance sheet. Some are adding it in their business model like here to make it available to their customers. It just tells me it is here to stay, and it's only going to get bigger. And guess what? This is exciting because this is news we haven't heard in quite some time. We're going to see XRP listed on KickX Exchange, and shout out to them for doing it. It says, you've been waiting for this. By many requests, we will list XRP on August 11th, 2 days from now. So if you want to support that exchange and you want to get some XRP, make sure you check them out. I know a shout out to Uphold and JP Terriot and the team over there because they certainly are offering Uphold to U.S. residents there. All right, looking right here, this is John Deaton, who is a Hall of Famer in this space, who is representing over 15,000 and it may be more XRP holders in a class action suit, and he's waiting to hear for months now about his motion to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple case. John Deaton is a Hall of Famer. We should be getting this guy like the big, call the trophy shop and let's get this guy the big trophy, right? I mean, no one saw him coming, but he is a really smart guy and we think the world of him here. And we love seeing this. He lays it down just about as clear as anybody could, whether you like hearing it or not. Ted Cruz said the Senate's going to inflict billions of dollars of damage on the growing and exciting crypto industry and drive much of it overseas. There aren't 5 senators who understand much of anything about crypto. John Deaton replies here, a U.S. senator publicly admitting that 95% of the U.S. Senate has no clue regarding the technology that it is voting on or the potential devastating consequences of their votes. The United States is broken. Well said, John Deaton. This is Jake Travinsky who says, let's look at what needs to be done. To get the infrastructure bill crypto provisions amended, we need a deal on compromise language between Wyden, Loomis, Toomey, and Warner and Portman. Number 2, we need unanimous consent for the amendment from the full Senate. And Senator's office opens. Now is your last chance to be heard. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., Senator Cynthia Loomis says offices will be back in like usual. Feel free to call your senators to let us know how you think we should move forward. I was under the impression that their recess started today. So have they delayed the recess until they get this handled? Maybe so. I don't know. But whatever it is, they're still there. So if they're still there, let's make sure that we call this number. 517-200-9518. It's not enough to retweet and share this stuff. Please pick up your phone. It cannot be any simpler. If you can still pick up your phone and push these numbers, push them. Because all you have to do is put in your zip code and it will patch you to the senator that represents your district. You will either talk to a person or a voice recording, and they will even give you the information of the bill number and the senators to mention to leave the message with them. Make sure you please do that. Now, let's get back to here. So that's what needs to happen today. Now, oddly enough, Janet Yellen has been opposing what's going on in the crypto portion of this infrastructure bill. And this article has surfaced in many different places. And it says that Janet Yellen is accused of banking corruption. When we go down into this, I'm like, what are we talking about here? It says, basically, she makes $221,400 a year in her current government salary, while Citibank has paid her more than $7 million in speaking fees. Now, the point being made here is simply that she's serving a different master than the one she's supposed to serve in the U.S. Treasury. She's made more money from the banks, and specifically Citibank, than she's made in her own job. Now, this is the kind of stuff that creates gray lines, gray areas, and problems, whether it's true or not. It doesn't look good, right? So now she's serving her real employers, the article says, the banks and not the United States government. As Ron Hammond, the director of government relations at Blockchain Association, says, the public pressure is working as more senators express concerns to us privately about the bill text. This is why you need to call that number I just shared, right? Treasury is pulling out all the stops to kill the Wyden Amendment, which is what we want. General politics of the bill could force Senator Schumer to say no amendments at all. For the $7 million, Yellen is now moving to effectively ban a competitor of their city paymasters, the DeFi space, with a sector sneaked into the infrastructure bill at the last minute that holds smart contract coders responsible as brokers, for which I think all of us understand is not really good for the space. An amendment to the bill to exclude coders was almost going to pass with the general consent, but then Yellen moved in to push for a more competing amendment that does not exclude coders, the so-called Warner-Portman Amendment. The risk is now the bill goes through without any amendment, something that would hold not only coders but also miners responsible in theory. Although context, lawmakers have said the definition of a broker is not intended to cover miners. And just a side note, Rob Portman did go to the floor, make an official statement that said that the Treasury and the Joint Committee on Tax, I believe it is, and other things, had also agreed that it was not to include miners, validators, and things of that nature. But nevertheless, the amendment still needs to be put through to clarify that language. It says here that would be a very, very big win for Yellen's paymasters, citing Citi and other banks that she has speaking fees from, but a huge loss for Americans who may well see firsthand just how open corruption leads to the selling out of the United States, and all for just $7 million. Concerning. It is concerning, and it's concerning just as much as this is. Now, Treasury Secretary Yellen is actually calling on Congress to increase the debt ceiling. This is not unheard of. It's certainly things we've seen for many, many times in the past, and I'm not going to play the clip for you. But the reality is the traditional economy is in huge trouble. We all know it. It's no secret, right? And if they don't get the debt ceiling up, then you run the risk of the government defaulting. Right. So they're probably going to move that debt ceiling up to allow that to happen. But again, there's an imaginary line in the sand when it comes to all of this debt ceiling, printing money business. You'll never get an email that says today's the day that you've officially crossed the line in the sand. Well, what is the line in the sand? It's confidence, ladies and gentlemen. And when your money has lost the confidence of the rest of the world, you got problems, and you got the trials of Job ahead of you, and all of us. And hopefully we do not reach that moment. Looking right here from Ian Northing, IMF World Bank advocates for benefits of central bank issued digital currencies at G20. So this is essentially the IMF and the BIS coming together, and they're simply saying, hey, this stuff works. It's faster, cheaper, more transparent, more inclusive. Cross-border payment services would deliver benefits to citizens, businesses, economies worldwide. Janet Yellen, have you read this article? World Bank Group Vice President, Equitable Growth Finance and Institutions, Sir John Cunliffe, the Deputy Governor for Financial Stability of the Bank of England, who has been a partner for many years now with Ripple. The technology offers the opportunity to start with a clean slate on improving the payment system. The IMF, World Bank, BIS prepared the report for a G20 meeting in Italy, hosting finance ministers and central bankers of the world's largest economies. The report envisions a central bank digital currency ecosystem where currencies could be exchanged with one another instantly and at all times, in the same way that central banks offer swap lines to one another to ensure, for example, the US dollars are readily available for exchange. Digital currencies could offer the same services to retail users. And this is starting to move us into some material here, and we're going to start right here. And I'm telling you, I think, and I've said this many times, but I think we're going to talk about the fact that Tether has huge issues, but forget about that. Because I believe that we've got even more confirmation, more stronger leaning into fundamentals that is suggesting quite possibly that the USD coin from Circle and Jeremy Allaire may in fact turn out to be a U.S. digital dollar approved by the United States government at some point. Take a look here. The Economist says Tether has issued $62 billion worth of tokens, which it says are redeemable for $1 apiece. But of the assets backing the tokens in March, only about 5% appear to have been cash or treasury bills. Oopsies. Well, that's not the situation here, because here I think you're looking at the remedy. You're looking at the solution. You want a line in the sand called confidence? I'll take a USD coin over USD Tether any damn day. On Friday, Circle Pay filed for a Form S-4 with the Securities Exchange Commission, and there it is right there. And I'm not going to bore you with what the document looks like, but let's get right to what it means. And congratulations to Jeremy Allaire and Circle, because the news really means here. The Circle intends to become a full reserve national commercial bank. Come on in. Circle's journey to become a national digital currency bank, and take a look here. This is pretty remarkable. Launched just 3 years ago, USDC has grown to become an important infrastructure for the new digital currency-enabled financial system. From the outset, Circle, in partnership with Coinbase and through the Center Consortium, designed USDC to conform with stringent U.S. money transmission, supervisory, and regulatory standards. As you see, it is much more compliant and held to regulatory, supervisory, heightened prudential compared to what we know of USD Tether. Now, with the USDC at more than $27.5 billion in circulation and building on our long-standing commitment to trust, transparency, and accountability in the dollar-denominated reserves backing the USDC, we are setting out to become a U.S. federally chartered national commercial bank. Come on in. Yeah. The legitimacy that is brought to this by getting a federally chartered banking license? Are you kidding me? Circle intends to become a full reserve national commercial bank operating under the supervision and risk management requirements of the Federal Reserve, U.S. Treasury, OCC, and the FDIC. We just went next level legit, ladies and gentlemen. This absolutely looks like the public-private relationship for a United States digital dollar. Hello. Guess who's moving to the front of the line in the digital revolution, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Don't believe it. I think this is still true. We believe that the full reserve banking built on digital currency technology can lead to not just a radically more efficient, but also safer, more resilient financial system. And that'll be the reason they lean in even harder than they are now. We are embarking on this journey alongside the efforts of the top U.S. financial regulators who, through the President's Working Group on Financial Markets, are seeking to better manage the risks, opportunities posed by large-scale private sector dollar digital currencies. Come on in. In the coming years, we anticipated that the USDC grow into hundreds of billions of dollars in circulation, continue to support trillions of dollars in low friction, high trust economic activity, and become widely used in financial services and internet commerce applications. Establishing national regulatory standards for dollar digital currencies is crucial to enabling the potential of digital currencies in the real economy, including standards for reserve management and composition. Listen, what's next? Where's Facebook Diem? And why not just use the USD coin for Facebook Diem stablecoin? And why not have a wholesale CBDC backend for the Fed and the central banking systems and their swap lines? And why not have a public-private relationship for the USD coin to operate as a private stablecoin for the United States digital dollar on the consumer retail end? Look, I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm just saying if we're looking at this, this is what it looks like. We don't have 100% confirmation, but I tell you what, that's what it's looking like to me. And that's where we're at on this day. I'm going to leave it right there. It's getting exciting, ladies and gentlemen. This is really getting exciting. So I know I'm excited to see this. The on and off ramps to the digital world are as important as anything else that we could talk about. If we don't have them, we don't have a regulated market. This looks to me like we're quickly shaping up to get the on and off ramp to what will soon be a very, very regulated market. And at 50 years old, that suits me just fine. That's where I'm at on this day. Make sure you check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. By the way, PureVPN is one of the many different ways that I help hide my anonymity online. 99 cents for 7-day trial. You can't beat it. And I Trust Capital, ladies and gentlemen, is the best gold, crypto, silver IRA. You know what's better than crypto? Tax-free crypto. And that's exactly what you can get with I Trust Capital. That's going to do it for me, and I'll catch you on the next one.